All right. Hi, this is Dr. Kate Dow here, and I'm here with Machel Jordan, not Michael Jordan, although apparently a lot of people get confused because she's so amazing. And we're going to just have a conversation about what it's like right now going through this COVID as a woman entrepreneur and what we're doing that's supporting us and helping be of service to others. And Michelle, thank you for meeting with me today.
Thank you for having me. This is interesting in the time of COVID, all the creativity we're,
Yes.
that we're experiencing. So, yes.
Well, I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you're doing. Or actually, what I'd love is for us to start with your pivots that you've needed to take, because I think a lot of people can relate to that, right? That like, oh, I was going this direction and then COVID came and then here's how I'm swimming, flowing, pivoting with that. And I really appreciate how you've shared about that in the meetup group meetings that we've had. So would you mind sharing a little about that?
I would love to share what my experience has been. Uh, so, COVID has been a surprise for the whole world. And so it's nice to know that we're not alone in this, and the whole world has had to
Right.
um, come together to adapt to this moment. And I had worked for several years before the pandemic broke out and had explored different career paths. Even though I've had multiple careers in my lifetime, I did not want to go back to the previous careers. So in
Which I
my
which I want to point out is a brave thing, right? Because that's kind of a lot of us are doing that, right? And I just want to acknowledge that because that's not what our parents did, right? They
right,
just like usually moms weren't even that working that much, maybe in my parents' generation, or if they did, they stuck to that one career
yes,
forever. So,
yes. So I came from an entrepreneurial family.
gotcha.
It was so I've got the story where my grandparents were hit really hard during the Depression, the Great Depression, on both sides of my lineage. And so I have the stories of people, of my father sewing his shoe soles back to the top part of his shoe, and going in the winter with no jacket and saying, no, I'm not cold.
Right,
And then my mother, she was wearing flour sacks. They would take flour sacks and repurpose them for clothes for her to wear.
right.
The families were very creative with resources and very frugal with resources.
So you're ready, kind of on a bloodline. You were ready for this COVID.
Yeah.
You're like, bring
So
it on.
yeah, so here it is again. We've got this opportunity that's a challenge, this opportunity, whichever way you want to look at it. But we're back where money's shaky
Mhm.
and a lot of people have lost jobs. And
Yes.
so that story is horrifying.
Yeah.
But we still all have needs. And so the most
Yes.
successful businesses are the businesses that address the needs that people have.
Yeah.
And can you adapt? Can you have resilience in your business model? Because businesses are always morphing. And
Right.
even though you've had multiple careers, and that's really unique for this period, for many people, it's it does require a certain amount uh, of tolerating risk.
There you go.
Right now, we're all kind of like in that
Right.
boat. Some people are
Right.
super thriving, and some people are stopped entirely. So, going forward, it's a great opportunity to look at the gifts. And for me,
Mhm.
my challenges that I have had over the last several years is keeping a lifestyle that I'd become accustomed to.
Right.
And I own at several years ago, I owned several horses
Hmm.
who are all at a point of, they're all aging. They're my family, and I made a
Mm.
commitment.
Yeah.
I was going to keep them for a lifetime. So having that commitment and starting over again, it's like I couldn't start over again at a McDonald's and
Right?
making.
I mean, like if you go kind of go like if I have to, but I'd prefer to get a little closer to what I've been doing.
Right.
And you've had a number of businesses that had to shift, right?
Yes, yes. So I've started multiple businesses from scratch. And so in starting multiple businesses from scratch, they actually build upon each other.
Hmm.
There's basics that are undeniable to having a successful business. And
Hmm.
so you can just put a different dress on,
Right.
so to speak, with a career. So you take
Right.
everything that you've loved in your lifetime and then you package that. We
Right.
all have such amazing gifts.
Right.
We can be writers, we can be artists, we can be coaches, we can, it's
Right.
like, what is exciting. And so for me, the way that I have pivoted is my horses are a real essential part of my life, and I've spent over 20 years in natural horsemanship trainings and certifications, and I've studied with multiple horse trainers. I've also done practice management for veterinary
Hmm.
hospitals. So I
Hmm.
have a true love of animals
Mm,
that I resonate with.
definitely.
And in addition, I love to help people.
Hmm.
And I discovered in the last quarter of last year a process called heart math.
Right.
And in discovering heart math and actually going to the source of training, I decided to become certified in heart math as well, because heart math and horses and the line of work that I'm
Oh,
doing with
yeah.
equine assisted learning goes totally together. It's a
Totally.
total coherence model.
Right.
And we have choice. No matter what the circumstances are, we always have choice. And so you can choose to be on a uplifting side of choice, or you can
Hmm.
choose to be on an all-consuming negative side of choice.
Right.
But if you can recognize that hinge point where you start falling into this deep cavern, you
Hmm.
can actually have the awareness and the mindfulness around it,
Right.
to where through just the awareness, you can have gratitude for
Hmm.
noticing
Hmm.
and thanking that emotion and moving it
Hmm.
on,
Right.
because it's stressing you out. It's causing a lot of internal chaos for you, and you're the one paying the big price. So
Right.
you can choose to have appreciation, compassion.
Hmm.
um, that actually changes what comes to you, because
Hmm.
we all can
Hmm.
attract what we want, and we can all attract what we don't want.
So can you share, like, is this is what you're really cultivating right now? Is this work with horses and the heart math? That's like sort of a new combination of, like you said, like a new dress around what you're offering to people right
Yes.
now. And I
Yes.
think that's powerful because I've had my experience with horses where um, I didn't realize there was already a lot of trauma around horses in my family. So I didn't know how to feel safe around them. And they certainly showed me that that did not work well for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that they reflect, right? That all the therapeutic work that's being done around equine assistance. It's so powerful, and horses are such a blessing. So you have your same horses. Did you get to keep them all?
Yes, I have
Okay,
my same horses.
great.
And so my business was really taking off with doing just the equine assisted learning by itself.
Gotcha.
And I was starting to incorporate heart math processes
Hmm.
in the workshops that I was doing.
Great.
And the amazing thing about horses is they mirror and they match us.
Right.
And so they read energetics
Yes.
and they read body language. So
Yeah.
if you are feeling uncertain, you've got a lot of fear, horses are going to be looking around to see where the predator is.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, the
so,
horse I was on, I was in this rodeo, right? And I was supposed to do the walkthrough in the beginning, and it took me, we went flying out of the arena through the parking lot. I could not stop the horse. I was very young at this time. And
yeah.
and I just was like, "Oh my God." And it was totally true. I felt very unsafe, and not because of the horse, just because of my own anxiety and other family things going on.
Right, right. So anyway, they're amazing, and everything that I do, fortunately, is on the ground, so no one has to worry about being good in the saddle.
Good.
And the horses love the work that I do. So, but we're in a different time. We're in a
Right.
virtual time now.
Exactly.
So it
So
was
how do you do that? How do you pivot that, Michelle?
exactly. How do you pivot that whenever
Horses online.
it was all about the arena? So
Right.
So now it's like, how can I keep the horses as part of the practice that I'm doing as a coach and a business consultant? And how can I also uh, do the heart math? How can
Hmm.
I put both of those together in a
Right.
virtual environment?
Right.
And so right now I am exploring how to do videos with horses, maybe just
Fabulous.
still photographs with horses,
Right.
to where there's certain scenarios that happen in the horse world that can parallel metaphorically what's going on in our world.
That's great.
And so through watching the metaphor,
Hmm.
it's a way for people to relate. And
Nice.
then to also take in the power of heart intelligence,
Right. And then you
how
do
to
the heart
access
math.
your heart.
Right.
Yes, because the heart has the answers.
Of
It's
course.
like our minds are working overtime right now and trying to find the best solution. And
Hmm.
it's like the mind goes, I'll save you. We're in survival mode.
Right.
And everything gets
Right.
shut down, including the heart. And the
Yes.
mind is working independently. And
Hmm.
our best made plans are always subject to disaster and or
Well,
a shift. But if
right.
you can take and re realign the model to
Right.
where you're taking this time where we've all got permission
Hmm.
to just be.
Right.
And as you're going through all of these fearful scenarios,
Hmm.
because this time is so triggering, it's
Right.
like, how can you not get caught up in that fear?
Right.
And
Right.
how can you really come out of this stronger than before?
Right.
Even though you've been devastated financially,
Hmm.
you don't have an income stream coming
Hmm.
in, it's like there's very legitimate concerns.
Totally.
So if you can take it to the heart,
Definitely.
you can just breathe in more deeply than usual and
Hmm.
breathe out more deeply than usual,
Hmm.
with centering your focus on the heart.
Hmm.
As you're
Well,
breathing in and as you're breathing out, you will notice that there's a calmness. It's
right.
a way of getting to neutral.
Hmm.
And um,
So are you offering the heart math only with the horse work, or are you offering that aside?
I'm offering it independently right now.
Okay,
In
great.
fact, If people choose to go to my website, I'm actually giving away the Heart Math Experience, which
Great.
is 90 minutes of instruction on different breathing techniques for the heart. One of them is attitude breathing. One of
Mhm.
them is just heart focused breathing. Another one is,
Okay,
uh,
well, how can
yes.
people find you? How can people find you?
So if you go to reflectreinvent.com, you can go to the blog section and you can access this video. And HeartMath has been very gracious. And they're giving this program away for free.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful.
my other contact information, my phone number, my email address is on my website.
Great, perfect.
Super simple to remember. Again, it's reflectreinvent.com, and we
Great.
are really in that place right now.
Definitely. And put it in the chat and I'll place it in the comments when I post this video in the group, okay?
Okay.
Well, we could probably chat all day, but I want to keep it short and sweet so people will actually watch the video and gain some yummies from it. So Machel, it was great to connect, and you can do it after. You don't have to do it right this second.
Okay.
It's wonderful to hear about what you're doing and how you're flowing with the pivot, right? Because that's the biggest challenge, is that we, are raised to kind of say, oh good, now this is set, and we're comfortable. We don't, our mind and our personalities tend to not like it when things keep moving across. We don't know where certainty is. And so to be able to embrace it the way you have, and to uh, feel into like what feels right for you and what's needed, is such a great reminder of how that's how we can show up right now. you know it doesn't have to be like some divine intervention, although it can be, certainly, but it can just be intuiting and listening to what people are needing, and then being open to be adaptable. Yeah, so
Yes.
thank you.
And that was beautiful what you said, because the only thing that we can truly depend on is change.
That's for sure.
It,
Right, it would be good if we befriended it a little better, right?
right. It's like you can always feel security in that.
Right, the impermanence of life, and we are getting a very super raw experience of that right now.
Yes.
So the heart math, I know, is beautiful work, and the equine work, and I'm excited to hear and see what you come up with around the videos with the horses and the metaphor work. So I know you're going to be joining our group, and that will be exciting to hear the update on that.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll be
and
happy.
thanks for meeting with me today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Keep in touch. We're going to be having more interviews showing up here in the group. So, and if you're interested in being interviewed, you can also let me know that. All right. Blessings. I think
Goodbye.
I'm just going to stop the recording. Great.
Okay.